できれば彼女次ごたごた言ってそいつを殺す
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Is this nigga serious?
Anime MCs gotta be some of the toughest characters known to man. They box dudes hard, they get money, and most importantly, they go on insane adventures across their stories. But one thing we gotta talk about is how shonen MCs are absolutely mental. Shout out my dog Bucket Ass Splash for this idea. That's my twin. But with that being said, let's get right into this video. To start out with, we gotta talk about Luffy. Now, Luffy is one of my favorite MCs. He is right behind Ichigo Kurosaki when it comes to my favorite main characters in anime. You know, he's just built different. He's tough. However, we gotta talk about how this nigga Luffy is crazy as hell.
Is that the Grim Reaper?
First off, Luffy has only been a pirate for around 3 years, and 2 of those years were spent in a time skip. So he has canonically been sailing the seas, if we include both pre and post time skip, less than a year. And in less than a year, this nigga has beaten 3 warlords, infiltrated, and successfully escaped all 3 of the world's government's most important bases. And then this nigga beat a Yonko and gained the powers of a literal sun god. I want you to imagine being the average civilian in One Piece and you read in the newspapers about this nigga Luffy every single week. Imagine that you wake up on a Sunday morning and you find out that this nigga and his whole crew survived the incident at Sabaody Archipelago and now they're running the streets again. And then on Tuesday morning, you find out that this nigga has beaten Doflamingo, one of the 7 warlords of the sea. And for your information, Dressrosa took place in 1 day. And you know what? I'm gonna say right here, that's cap. There is no way that all of this happened in 1 day. And furthermore, the entire post time skip takes place in less than 2 months. That means in less than 2 months, these niggas have been a warlord, teamed up with another prominent pirate crew, sailed in and out of a Yonko's territory, and then beat 2 Yonko. Like, nah, that's insane. We also gotta talk about how this Luffy nigga don't give a fuck about rules. Luffy will quite literally sail up to a guarded fortress manned by some of the most skilled fighters in the verse and just say, you know what, we running that fade, come on, let's box. And he will do this for a person that he hasn't even known for more than a day. This nigga pulled up deep into Eni's lobby, beat the strongest nigga there, and then left with his whole crew intact. That's my dog right there. And furthermore, we can do this on an even larger scale. When this man was about to beat Kaido asked him, why are you trying to fight me? What is your motivation? And Luffy didn't flash back to the promise he made with Law. He didn't flash back to him declaring he's gonna be king of the pirates. He flashed back to Tama, a girl he met when he first got there, and said, she fed me some rice, so now I gotta beat you. Yes, this nigga Luffy got fed some plain white rice and then put it in his heart and his soul to beat the strongest creature alive. Yeah, that's something only a mental asylum patient would do. And we also gotta talk about some other characters right quick. Deku from My Hero Academia. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I think Deku gets a lot of hate. The way y'all was doing this nigga was horrendous. But with that being said, Deku is crazy as hell. And for the life of me, this nigga Deku be in the middle of a battle, breaking his fingers left and right, and to talk about some, oh, I broke 4, but I still have 6 left. Like, dog, those are your own limbs, gang. Like, this nigga Deku is really out here crippling himself after every battle he had in the first 3 seasons. All that intelligence, and it took this man 3 whole seasons to realize he could use his legs. I'm sick. And now that I mentioned this got me even more confused about the My Hero community. Because if you don't know, I don't fuck with the My Hero community. Them niggas was on a ride back in 2020 to 2022. And I ain't gonna lie, the My Hero fanbase might be one of the only anime fan bases to fuck up their show's motion. Dragon Ball Z niggas are dumb as fuck. Dragon Ball fans don't know how to read, but that ain't stopped Dragon Ball's motion. One Piece niggas glazed their show to no end, all up on Oda's tip. Didn't stop One Piece's motion. But My Hero fans were so weird and out of pocket that it deadass turned niggas off from watching the show. That is a new feat. And furthermore, I don't know how these specimen came up with the idea that Deku is some type of sweet cinnamon roll when he is not. I want you to look me into my eyes, look at this clip, and then tell me that this nigga is a cinnamon roll. Yeah, that's just not the case. case. That's like calling this nigga Gon a cinnamon roll. Yes, Gon is a nice dude. However, like, dog, this nigga is 12 years old, and I don't even need to mention how this man was moving in the Chimera Ant Arc. This nigga threw away his whole nin, his whole potential to snuff Pitou. Yeah, that's some crazy ass shit. And we gotta talk about another MC while we're at it. Ichigo Kurosaki. Now, if y'all don't know, Ichigo Kurosaki is my third favorite MC, right behind Goku in first place and Yusuke Urameshi. Ichigo stay having the coldest moments of the big three. But with that being said, this nigga is crazy as hell. As a regular human, this man was running the streets of Japan. He put up on 5 grown-ass men as a teenager, took one of the dude's phones, called 911 and said, yeah, I'ma need an ambulance for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 bitch niggas. And then proceeded to solo squad the entire gang. Like, nah, that's some gangsta ass stuff right there. And it got even crazier when he got a soul reaper power. This man was 15 years old, invading an entire society of some of the strongest dudes in the verse, all for someone he met like 2 weeks ago. And that's another thing I gotta talk about. Shonen MCs gotta be some of the most die-hard, ride-or-die people you'll ever meet in your life. Like, no exaggeration, if you meet Luffy and you feed this nigga a Whataburger sandwich and some fries, this nigga will put it in his heart and his soul to liberate your country from an oppressor. You could feed Naruto a pack of ramen noodles, chicken flavored, and he will put it in his entire being to save you from your inner demons. That's a real friend right there. But I ain't gonna lie, Naruto might be a little bit more than a friend to Sasuke. You can't tell me that this nigga Naruto wasn't moving a little bit sus towards Sasuke.
So then I'm a perfect match for Sasuke.
Oh, nigga, you gay.
Like, yes, I've had my scared moments, and yes, I do care about my homies, but I have never, and I mean never, had a heart attack because I thought about another man. Like, nah, I'm crying. This nigga Naruto really moving like Sasuke's ex out here. But all jokes aside, Naruto is W mans, and so is Ichigo. Ichigo really gave up all of his soul reaper powers just so that he could protect his friends and protect the world of the living. That's some real shit right there. And I can't talk about MCs without bringing up my GOAT. Not only the greatest main character of all time, but the greatest anime character to ever grace our screens. Son, Goku.
Get off that nigga dick, bro. What is you doing?
But yeah, Goku is not exempt from this. Goku is crazy as hell. Like, no mentally sane person is putting his body through what this man put his body through when he was going to Namek. This man had several near-death experiences, almost died, and then said, hey, that's crazy, but we still gotta grind. Like, that's why he's my GOAT. He ain't let nothing stopping him for real. And this is even reflecting how he treats his enemies. You could fight Goku, blow up his best friend in front of him, call him a racial slur for hours upon hours, and then he'll still try to spare you. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Goku better than me. The moment Frieza called me a hard monkey, I would have made sure that nigga was slept. Like, Goku really be sparing niggas who have no business being spared. And I got an example of this right here. Vegeta and Nappa pulled up, killed Goku's best friend, attempted to kill his own son, and right when Krillin was about to seal the deal, this nigga Goku said, wait gang, that nigga got hands for real. I gotta find him again. Like, dog, you're not serious. But yeah, that's about the end of this video. Thank you for watching this video. Continue to support both this channel and my second channel. We be going crazy over there. I love y'all. Stay wealthy, stay healthy, and stay blessed. And I'm out.